What if I told you that you didn't have to be the best at what you do to be the best at what you do? That you don't have to be somebody who has this huge, massive arsenal of God-given talents or abilities, and you could still be massively successful at whatever you do. Would you believe me? And if you don't, then don't worry, because you will. I have researched and analyzed the most successful people in the world, from athletics, entrepreneurship, and so much more, and I've made some pretty big discoveries. And today I'm going to share all of those discoveries with you, like the traits that all these people have in common, universal principles that they've all applied to their specific fields. And by the end of this video, you will have everything you need to succeed at whatever you do. And if you have goals for yourself that you haven't taken action towards, I really want this to be the last video that you watch before you do so. Even if you don't think you're ready, even if you don't think you're somebody who has what it takes to be massively successful, I guarantee that by the end of this video, you will think otherwise. And when I said at the beginning of this video that you do not have to be the best at what you do to be the best at what you do, I was not kidding. That was not some sort of like introductory clickbait type thing. Because when you look at the people you admire, the people that are massively successful, you might look at their strength, their speed, their intelligence, or how fast they can make things happen. But those are only a few pieces of the puzzle. But there's something that is so much more important that people don't really tend to look at. Because the most important trait to have when it comes to succeeding at anything is not strength, it's not speed, it's not intelligence. Of course, those are all important to have and those are useful, but it is endurance. Endurance is the most important trait you could possibly develop. And when I say endurance, I'm not just saying like how many miles you can run. I'm talking about it as a universal principle, how long you can go, how long you can withstand the test of time. And the reason why endurance is so important is because you can have all the speed, all the strength, all the intelligence in the world, but none of that means anything without endurance. Because you can be maxed out in every single one of those areas, but if you are quick to get tired, if you are quick to give up, you will get absolutely smoked by the people who have just made it a mission to never get tired, to never stop, to never quit. And when it comes down to it, you can be outmatched, outclassed in every single way possible, but if you know deep down that you have the ability to outlast everyone and everything that comes in your path, you are absolutely unstoppable. And what makes this so beautiful is that the amount of endurance you have is entirely up to you. It's under your control. And the most successful people in the world, they all understand this. And I look up to a lot of fighters because I see a lot of similarities between fighting, like boxing, and life. You have guys like Floyd Mayweather, Lomachenko, Triple G, and one thing you'll notice about these guys is that they had the speed, the strength, the power, but you never saw them get tired in the ring, ever. And that trait, that characteristic, their endurance was really what set them apart. And that's what many people don't understand, because they see the power, they see the speed, they see the IQ, but what they don't see is the fact that they took their conditioning, their endurance to the absolute max, because they knew that even if they were to get outmatched or outclassed in any one of those other areas, they would always have the endurance advantage. They would always have that to fall back on. And there's a short quote that I've seen all over the place and it's always stuck with me. And I think it was said by like Vince Lombardi and George Patton, but it is, fatigue makes cowards of us all. And it is so incredibly true in literally every single endeavor, because it could be a run, a fight, a football game, a business venture, whatever it is. The moment you start to feel yourself get tired, that is exactly when your true self comes out. But at a certain point, your mind is going to tell you to quit. It's going to tell you to stop. This is inevitable almost, but you have to understand that your mind is going to tell you to quit way before your body ever will. And one of the most important parts of developing endurance is understanding this, understanding that your mind is going to tell you to quit even when your gas tank is still 60% of the way full. And this is exactly why I love running so much. And it's why I think everybody, even if you're not trying to get super conditioned or in shape, why I think everybody should do some sort of physical endurance training, because you're training yourself to push past that mental barrier. You're also making your gas tank even bigger, which is going to carry over into every single aspect of your life. Because whatever you're doing, there's going to be a point where your mind tells you to quit. You just get to control when that point is and what you do when that happens. So think about this. If there were two versions of yourself, version A has a 10-gallon gas tank and version B has a 20-gallon gas tank. And when I say gas tank, I don't mean like an actual gas tank. I just mean the amount of energy you have that you can use. So if version A has a 10-gallon gas tank and version B has a 20-gallon gas tank, version A will have their mind tell them to quit when they've only expended about 4 gallons of gas. And version B will have their mind tell them to quit when they've expended about 8 gallons of gas. And both of these thresholds are at 40% of their full capacity. The only difference is that version B has a gas tank that is twice the size of version A. But we can take this even further. Imagine every single time version A hits that threshold of 4 gallons and their mind tells them to quit, they do just that, they quit. But version B has trained themselves to push past this threshold, so they don't quit until they get to about 80% of their full capacity. So the longest version A thinks they can go is however far 4 gallons will take them, but version B, they've pushed past that, and the longest that they think they can go is however far 16 gallons can take them. So 4 gallons for version A and 16 gallons for version B, and version A might be stronger, faster, smarter, But who are you going to bet on to succeed? It's pretty obvious. Version B. Version B will completely annihilate version A in literally every single endeavor because they have the endurance advantage. And that was the best analogy I could come up with to explain that concept. So I hope it makes sense. But the reason I'm even talking about this and making this video in the first place is because I have seen so many strong, smart, amazing people give up on themselves way too early because they didn't understand how far they could actually go. They gave up on themselves way too early because they didn't think they could push any farther, when in reality they were not even close to their limits. And it truly does make me sad because there are so many people, probably billions of people in this world, that will never ever truly know what they are capable of just because of this. And that, in my opinion, is one of the greatest tragedies in the world. Not realizing your potential because you don't believe in yourself and you don't fully realize how far you can actually push it. And I understand that it can be hard when you have the odds stacked against you and you have people that are supposed to believe in you and care about you tell you that what you're trying to do is not possible. But you have to understand that the reasons these people are giving you for why you cannot do something are just reasons why they cannot do it. It has nothing to do with you, because these beliefs about what you can achieve are not a reflection of what you are capable of. They are a reflection of what they are capable of. It has nothing to do with you. They will tell you that you're crazy, you're delusional, and what you're doing is impossible because that's what they think about themselves. They know that if they were to attempt something like that, they know that they could not do it. And this is why believing in yourself, just having self-belief, is another one of those things that you have to have, because you cannot rely on the belief of other people. It does not matter at all. The only belief you need is your own. It doesn't matter if it's your friends, your family, whoever. If they don't believe in you, who cares? As long as you have the belief in yourself, you have confidence, and you know where you're going, that is literally all that matters. The only belief you need is your own. But if you don't have that, then you have nothing. And honestly, I think that is one of the most beautiful things about life, is that you know yourself better than anybody else. I don't know you like you know you. You don't know me like I know me. I think that's awesome. And you can never forget this, because the universe will test you in so many different ways. It will test you to see how bad you really want what you say you want. It will test you to see how far you can go, and it'll test you to see what you will do in situations where 99.9% of people quit and they give up. But this is exactly what you want, and it seems counterintuitive, but I promise you, when you achieve what you set out to achieve, you will be so happy that it was not easy. All the pain, all the sacrifice, all this delusional self-belief that you have, it will all make sense and it will all pay off. So if you're watching this at the end of 2023 or in 2024, make a promise to yourself that you will get to where you need to go, no matter what it takes, that you will outlast everything and everyone that steps in your path, that you will do everything in your power to see how big your gas tank actually is, and you will never stop until your gas tank, you can see it read E. Anything else, anything before that, you're quitting on yourself, and you cannot do that. If you can make it a mission to push your limits in every single way possible, to see how big your gas tank really is, you will win. Because if you cannot quit, if you do not quit, you will win. Because if you do not quit, you cannot lose. Listen, I believe in you believe in you, and that is all you need. But if you enjoyed this video, feel free to subscribe and leave your thoughts in the comments. I will respond to literally every single one. I love you. Peace out.